Welcome to Burgers and Brawls.
With Tom and
Tiny.
What's on the menu today, Tiny?
Today we got a local favorite, Homer's.
Oh boy. Look at it. You brought that? Sharing is caring, people.
Definitely. Now, when I cut this in, he's going to start us out on a topic for the day.
Topic of the day is independent wrestlers that really should stick to some other line of profession. Man, where do I even start about this guy we're going to talk about? Man, this guy is really a piece of work. Really is. He's a local guy. Claims to have been in the business like 15, 20 years. Not saying anything bad about him on a personal level. He's genuinely a really nice guy. But after recent matches that I've seen and that I've shown Tiny, he kind of needs to step back a little bit and let some of the younger generation take over.
Quick side note here. We're giving our 2 cents as professional wrestler of 15 years. Me, 5 years in it, doing hardcore. He had the WWE style. And this is just our 2 cents on it. And biggest thing here is stay humble, people. Stay humble.
Arrogance has no place on the indie circuit. Because if it wasn't for the fans that sit in the seats and buy the tickets, you wouldn't be doing it.
Nope.
So always be humble. But back to this guy. Over the past couple of years that I've known this guy, he has really not impressed a lot of people. There was a show in particular, and I'm not going to give any locations of shows or anything, and I may not even give this guy's real wrestling name.
We're going to call him Wrestle X.
Yeah, there you go. But there was a show a couple states away from us, and everybody in there was not impressed. He was throwing spaghetti arm. Sorry about that weird little spot there. We just had a itty bitty guest come in here. But anyways, this guy was throwing spaghetti arm punches, and it just looked
bad.
To the point to even I, as a wrestler, hate using this word, but it looked fake. It really did. And then here recently, he's been bouncing back between 2 other federations who's part of a bigger alliance. And in one federation, they've been going, not even a complete year yet. And they've made him job every single show up until recently, which, congratulations on the win. I'll give you that. Congratulations. But the guy he was going against, and this guy I will use his name because he will be in some of our videos, Cluck the Clown. Now this guy has gone by different names, which I'm not going to give because we keep things like a brotherhood. So I'm not going to out him on any other of his gimmicks. But Cluck the Clown he's entertaining to watch.
Very entertaining.
He does his own color commentating whenever he's wrestling. So if you get a chance to look him up on Facebook or YouTube, look up Cluck the Clown, spelled with a K. But they actually had him this past weekend job to this other guy. There's no way that should have happened.
No. Cluck, from my point of view, mind you, I have less time. Well, he's going to take a bite first. There's no onion on it, because I know you don't like onions.
Pickles, mustard.
Let's show the camera the patty and whatnot.
You got the patty, you got the cheese. Yeah, it's a small little patty, but...
Mom and pop store. The place has been around for, I'm going to say, about 50 so years. I don't quote me on it. I didn't get a pamphlet.
Quite a long time.
But Cluck, he's one hell of a showmanship. I've worked with him. He's even trained me a little bit on the theatrical side of it, which you see in WWE, AEW side. not the backyard, hardcore, independent, New Japan death matches. That's the style I'm from. He's from WWE, AEW style. I'm from the barbed wire, thumbtack, staple guns.
Let's reiterate that. The style. I was not on WWE, not in TNA, not in AEW. That's the kind of wrestling I do. Well, I did.
We're both retired. Maybe longer than him. Life happens. Cluck, though, getting back to the point here. Cluck should never had a job to him, in my personal opinion. Again, these are just our opinions.
Yes.
Making that clear. Cluck should have won that. Cluck deserves to be put over the top.
Mm-hmm.
He's paid his dues.
Honestly, after what I've seen in the past couple matches, I really think they need to put a strap on him, put a belt on him.
Honestly, they should. And again, we'll have Cluck on later on. We got to get a hold of him, work out some stuff. I got to get his people. He's got to get our people's, whole thing. I'm going to take a bite of this. I'm going to pass it back on to him.
Sure, thanks, mouthful. We're not doing ASMR videos, so people.
No.
Mm-mm. That's disgusting. But anyways, back to this other guy. I don't doubt his longevity in the business, but I do doubt some of his training that he has claimed. Honestly, in the shape that he's in, and some of the things he has gone through on a personal level, I really think he needs to step back from it, get his life in order, work out some more, get some more training under him.
There's no shame in going, hey, I don't mind jobbing, I don't mind winning, but I personally need to step back and take it some time for myself.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't right outside of the ring, you're not going to be right inside that ring, and it will show every time.
You'll end up hurting someone.
We're not in this business. I can speak for us, Cluck, and a handful of other guys that I'm not going to mention. We didn't get in this business to hurt people.
Right.
We got in it to make each other look good and to make you guys happy.
I got into it for the entertainment factor.
I got into it because I grown up watching WWE, WCW, ECW, New Japan, all these promotions from indies all the way up to the big leagues. I got into it by accident. Best accident I ever got.
You see, I got into it because everybody doubted me, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to a local show, talk to some guys, and, well, here I am 15 years later. Held one title up in, I'll go ahead and say it because the company's no longer around, up in MCW up in Davenport, Iowa. And I was forced to vacate the title because I was not able to make one of the shows, so they stripped me of the title. Another thing I'd really like to touch base on is ring rats.
We'll get into that real quick. Let's get back to the burger real quick. I wanted to show you guys this. You see all that nice goldenness on the crust there? I like that on burgers.
And it's got a good buttery flavor.
They butter their buns. I watched them make it.
And grill it.
Put it on a flat top. They put it down, bun and everything. Honestly, I'm going to give this burger about a 10. Yes, I would recommend this as a friend. Matter of fact, I probably eat one of these probably once a week.
See, me, I like the beef patty to be a little thicker.
Again,
like
the name is Homer's Drive-In. Feel free to Google it. We're not sponsored by them in any shape, form, or way. I'm promoting local businesses because that's what I like to do.
See, the burger patty's kind of got the whole McDonald's vibe.
Yeah.
Too thin for me. I like it to be just a little thicker. But all in all, man, I give it probably about a 9 out of a 10. Flavor. Good buttery flavor.
Now, ring rats. I know where we're going with this. We're going to call this person that shall remain nameless ring rat number 1. Just like Wrestler X. Before we get into that, I have to say some pieces on Wrestler X.
Well, good. I'm going to finish this.
Excuse me. He calls himself such and such. And again, I'm not going to say it. But that title that he has, you cannot have that title and put it on shows to where you go, Literally what he was doing in the 2 matches I've seen him. I personally never went and watched him because the companies that he worked for, I personally don't want to do it.
It's funny to watch him in person.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've met the guy. The dude outside of the ring was nice. Inside of the ring, nice. Again, I'm not trashing the dude. We're giving our review. That's what this channel is about.
We're just giving a review on his in-ring performing talent.
The company that he works with, one of them, there's a guy that runs it. I'm going to get back on this later. Does not sit well with me, nor the handful of other people that we know that have interaction with this person. Ring rat number 1 should not go around smearing professional wrestlers' names by saying
because she's mad at you.
Because, quote unquote, I'm a professional wrestler. I have contracts with such and such, such and such. Doesn't matter. You can't impress me. You can't impress him. Only thing you're doing is make yourself look like an ass. Stick to what you know best.
Excuse me, one moment. I'm actually one of the victims of the name smearing. So, this is why we're bringing this person up as a topic. And those of you that don't know what a ring rat is,
Google it.
Well, I'll give you a good example. Think of groupie in the rock and roll industry. That's what a ring rat is to wrestling. It's like a groupie. She got introduced to the business.
Mind you, she started off by escorting somebody out. We call that a manager.
Well, actually, she started off as a ring announcer.
Oh, ring announcer.
Ring announcer.
Then she got upgraded to a manager / arm candy, whatever you want to call it. It goes by many different names.
Arm candy's like warm taffy.
At best. But needless to say, Tom,
but
you go in there.
September of 2018 was her debut as a ring announcer. And things are being claimed of being signed by bigger $1 million wrestling companies, if you know who we're talking about. She claims to have been in the business for 10 plus years. She's been all over the United States. She has been to the state we're in. She has been to North Dakota. She's been over on the East Coast, like I think New Jersey or New York, and then Iowa. I'm sorry, that's not the entire United States, if you ask me.
Personally, for me, I've been state we're in. I'm not going to name it. I've been to the next state. I've been to Iowa. I've worked the Dakotas. I've worked underneath multiple different names. I did not have this beard. Did not have all these tattoos. I was what you call a jobber. I was a professional loser. I have a skill to make people look good. He is not a jobber.
There, toward the end of it, they turned me into one.
You hit a point in your career as a professional wrestler or amateur professional.
And you notice that on TV too. The bigger names like John Cena.
John Cena, CM Punk, all the big stars' names, okay? At one point in time in their career, they had to do what I did. I made a career out of doing jobbing because I liked it.
John Cena did it the other way. They started him out and he was just winning. Then all of a sudden he started losing. And that's, unfortunately, that's what happens to...
That's the name of the beast here.
To the talent in the wrestling industry.
You hit a certain part in your career where your outside stuff is coming into the ring. You need to pause, time out, take a knee, go to the sidelines, gather yourself, then come back. Because without your mind clear, you can't have a good show. You're definitely going to hurt somebody. It's not when, it's how bad that person's going to get hurt. Now, I'm going to tell you this little bit of tidbit about the independent scene that I don't really care if anyone gets offended by. We don't make a whole heck a lot of money when we do it. Anytime we get travel pay and whatnot, I've honestly seen probably about $100.
And the most I've seen for a 12-hour round trip was $35. And a broken promise about a hotel to stay in.
And we're going to touch on that on Promoter X.
So, as a promoter, your obligation is to keep your word. When you tell people that you're going to pay them so much to come do a show,
especially if they're coming X amount of distances to your company and they give up other closer gigs to work for you to help you out, you are to pay them.
Before the show starts.
There's 2 rules in this business. If you travel over 30 miles, you get paid up front. No ifs, ands, or buts. You travel under 30 miles, you get paid after everything else is paid.
You get the scraps, what's left over.
Basically. The local guys always get the craps end of it. That's how it is. Been that way since wrestling was invented.
And in my experience, it hasn't been that way.
There's good and bads. It's just like going to buy a car. You go to a car lot, you get a good one. 2 years later, whatever, you go to another one, don't get the same service. Basically it. But the ring rat situation and promoter X kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they work kind of side by side. There was an instance with the promoter, the wrestler, and the ring rat we're talking about. The wrestler tried to set me up in a shoot match, which that's where it's a legit fight, and whoever's being set up in it basically gets beat down. The promoter knew about it, the wrestler knew about it, and this ring rat knew about it.
It's a sanctioned hit.
And not one of them that claimed to be my friend told me about what this wrestler was doing. Luckily, Mr. Cluck the Clown, before he became Cluck the Clown, I was over at his house, and he pulled up the messages and showed me. And then he calls this other wrestler, and he gets him to confess on speakerphone while I'm standing there, and I hear it with my own ears. So I canceled on the promoter because I'm not... I have no respect for anybody like that.
You don't do that. There's only one exception of doing that, and I'm not getting it on camera because that's going to break my code I took years ago doing it. If you see an independent guy at a local show, ask him about what a shoot is and how you get one of those done upon you. Guarantee you, they will tell you. I, myself, and this gentleman right here, will not break that. So don't ask, because I don't want to have to go, I'm not telling you.
Yeah. There's things we will tell you guys about. There's things we won't. Just because, like I said, it's a brotherhood. Nationwide, all wrestlers know the code. So there's things we'll tell you, things we won't. If there's something that you really want to know,
hit us up on Facebook, and either him or I will get back to you at the fastest as we can. We do have our own lives outside of this.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the ring rat guy, person.
But yeah, they tried to smear my name. They got me to a point to where I retired. And then I've had a couple other people like, dude, you're not done.
Me being one of them.
And so I came out of retirement. Did 2 shows.
Good shows, mind you.
The last one, though, I took a DDT on a steel chair. That's as far as I can turn my neck now, so...
And we'll get to that.
So, anywho, injured myself, so now I'm pretty much sidelined. I'm done. So now we get to sit here and do these reviews. But these 3 folks all knew about it. Cluck was the only one that told me about it. And he even told me, he's like, don't cancel the show. Show up. If something goes down, me and my brother, we got your back. We'll come out there. And, you know, I trust Cluck. I trust his brother. But in a situation like that...
You can't trust no one.
You've got 2 people on your side, but you got a whole locker room that listens to the promoter. So I brought it to the promoter's attention. He got offended. Wouldn't answer any of my calls, my texts. But I noticed he kept answering my fiance's messages. Like instantly. Just blowing me off, but answering all her stuff. So that infuriated me a little bit. Because for one, number 1 rule when you're around me, don't mess with my things.
If I licked it or I created it, it's mine.
So, me and him kind of had it out, and he sent me a message saying, well, I can't work with a guy that doesn't trust me, so I think it's best that you find work elsewhere. The reason I didn't trust this guy is because he knew about that shoot. Didn't bring it to my attention, didn't warn me. He was just going to let it happen. So that's one thing that's not cool. If if you're in the industry and you're green and you're new, please don't do anything stupid.
Me being the rookiest here, what I should have done, and he's told me later in life when we both was kind of coexisting in a certain company that's no longer around. Cluck was in on it too. They both told me to find a seasoned vet that you can relate to, and look up to them. And 9 times out of 10, those seasoned guys are going to take you underneath their wings and show you how not to get screwed over in the business.
Yeah.
This person broke 4 rules of wrestling. All 4 of them on him. She has not done that to me, but there is somebody else, a later video, that will be just all about that special individual, and I hope that person sees this, because he's got something coming for him from about 5 people.
Is it who I think it is?
Yes.
Okay. And maybe in a later video when we talk about this guy, we will put his
Oh,
name
yeah, there's no censorship on his, but right now I'm building anticipation up to him.
Yeah. We will throw his name out there, throw him under the bus.
Because my goal on that aspect is to make sure that person get what we call blacklisted, blackballed, black shirt, whatever you want to call it, means you're done. You can't work, done.
Yeah.
But this ring rat, number 1, likes to go, oh, well, Tiny said this, but turn around and tell him something totally opposite what I said. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, this is my brother from another mother.
Matter of fact, he lives with my mother.
Yeah. He knows for a fact if there's a problem, I'll come straight up to him and go, hey.
Mm-hmm.
Same way. Like most professionals in the sport, will come up to that person and go, hey, what you do? This person, we're going to call her the pot stirrer. She gets her jollies off. Yes, I gave her a ginger.
Well, I did that when we first started talking about her.
Oh, whatever. I couldn't remember. We'll go around and we'll find these people that are just starting out or going up on it, and we'll ride their coattails. That's not cool. I mean, if that's what you're solely going to do is just be a manager, then you're a manager. Don't call yourself a professional athlete.
That's what ring rats do. They find somebody that looks like they're getting gold, making some of themselves, and then she'll leech on like a leech. That's what we're calling a ring rat leech.
Yep.
Moose knuckle leech. Anyway, that kind of gave it away to some of the people in the area. But,
and if you do know that reference, please, no names. Do us a favor, us a solid, no names. Promoter X.
Which actually he was forced to step down.
Still, I don't care. This is getting told. If you hire somebody, i.e., phone call, text message, instant message, DM, whatever, to get a talent to come to you, it is your duty to make sure that person has got a place to stay, food, gas, and paid.
And it doesn't matter if you fill up your seats or not.
It don't. Because if that person travels over X amount of time, passes up numerous opportunities to make guaranteed money and home at night for their family, because a lot of us have family, believe it or not, you have to pay them. You can't go, oh, well, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars. Come do the show, get torn up, super glue yourself back together. You got to go to your 9 to 5 the next day, but you're in the middle of Timbuktu.
With a possible concussion and
you're screwed yourself. You screwed yourself up because you just went hard for this dude because that's what he hired you for, and that's your style.
And he actually did that to a good friend of mine's daughter. It's a father-daughter duo, and her boyfriend is with them, so they got a trio now. But he actually has basically blacklisted himself from this group of promotions. He still works other promotions because they pay him, they pay her, and they pay her boyfriend. So, don't think he's blacklisted from everywhere. No, he's self-blacklisted from these federations here. Just because they're driving a good hour and a half.
One way, mind you.
Yeah. Get promised one thing, and then don't get what they're promised. Matter of fact, she is still waiting on paid from a show like 3 or 4 months ago. He keeps saying, "Oh, I'll PayPal it to you."
First of all, I'm going to say this right now. In the business that we're in, we're not at the top tier level. We're not with the big names. We're not even with the mid names. The promotions that we run with are starting out promotions. That, you hit the mid and upper tiers, fine, no problem. You're in the lower tiers, cash money.
And see, I go to these lower tier shows to help put butts in seats.
I've promoted outside of, well, I can't say really promoted, but yeah, promoted some of these local guys.
Word of mouth.
I go around because people come to me, they know me in my past, and I'm a big wrestling nut. Oh, what do you think about these? Yeah, go see him. Matter of fact, Cluck the Clown. I helped promoted his last event that I knew of because I like Cluck the Clown. He's a good old boy. Love his mask. Love the way he works the ring. Did I want anything in return? No, I don't want nothing. I did it because I love the business. He loves the business. Most of the people that are in the business love the business. And it gets sad that we're coming down to the point now to where it's all about the money. Gimme, 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 gimme.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that.
You're supposed to be in it to entertain the fans.
And without the fans being in the seats, there's no show.
Right.
And if you can't have a plan A, B, C, and D for these shows, whether it's, 20 people or it's 30,000 people, you have to have multiple backup plans because no one likes to go into a show that there's no music.
True. Yeah.
And you got to raise your voice in the middle of the ring in a big old auditorium, like a big old gymnasium at like your school, whatever. We all know what an auditorium is. You got people talking and whatnot. It's hard for the people in the ring to get what they want out.
Luckily for this federation, though, without the sound system, all 5 people can hear them.
Yeah, and it's sad. This federation that we're talking about, I haven't decided yet whether or not I want to name them. I got to talk to Cluck because he works closely with them.
Yeah.
And it's a bro code there. So that later video, I may or may not just have a video about that.
No. In one of the next videos, there's one thing I do want to touch on. We're talking about Cluck the Clown, right? And I actually just today on Butt Hurt Trash Baggers, I seen a guy on there spelled the same way, but one letter has been added. He is not Cluck the Clown, but he is Clunk the Clown. And he's got a big green fro wig hanging out of the front of his tights.
Now, that's not friendly.
So, all y'all on Facebook, go on there, look up the Butt Hurt Trash Baggers Network. Look this guy up. You
will not be sorry.
I laughed so hard because this guy is coming out big bad. Oh, who am I going to be down next? He fights a guy called the Hyena. This guy, I give this dude props. Looked good. He sold himself good. Just everything. Everybody loved him. He was great. But anyways, this Clunk, he was pointing at him right in the face, right? He grabbed his finger and he bit Clunk. And Clunk was screaming like a little 9-year-old girl. So yeah, I got a good chuckle out of that one. I mean, that person, Clunk the Clown, from the Butt Hurt Trash Baggers, he deserves to be on there. But Hyena, if you're watching this, you do not belong on Butt Hurt Trash Bag Network.
Get a hold of us. And we'll try to help you out, man. We'll get you a chance to talk some promotions and whatnot. We don't know your area, but we want to talk to you one-on-one. We want to try to get you on here. Now, let me say this that I should have said at the beginning of the video. Do not try anything you see on television, local shows, magazines at all, at home. You will get hurt. You will hurt yourself or others, and you could possibly die. There is this person that goes around on Facebook, not naming them, but we all know who we're talking about. He wears this kind of shirt.
Now, watch the language. Don't repeat what he says, because
I'm not
want to start out getting monetized, not demonetized.
He wears one of these shirts. If you're not familiar with it, it's in the same Clown Posse.
He starts out F this S and does stupid stuff.
Don't do that.
We'll give his name because he's everywhere. It's superhuman.
Yeah, superhuman. Not superhuman. More like super dummy.
And this guy actually got signed by a federation. He got signed because of his stupid videos.
I've watched a person jump from a ladder, not really high, but midway up, so about my height, I'm about 6 foot, onto a microwave.
Elbow drop.
A microwave. Elbow. Drop to a microwave. And he didn't really hit the elbow. He hit like right here on your ribs.
So yeah,
Don't do that.
that's a prime example of don't try this at home. We are trained professionals.
It hurts.
Now, before we go any further, I told you guys I got my start 15 years ago or whatnot. I do want to give a shout out to the guy who got me started. Michael Strider. Oh my gosh, too many hits to the head. But Michael Strider, thank you for everything you did for me at the beginning by telling me to get my fat butt up and over to learn to do the hip tosses. I want to thank you so much.
I want to thank you because he helped me perfect my hip tosses and whatnot. Way to go, Matt.
And also, Michael.
Michael, my bad. Again,
Thanks.
too many chair shots.
Thanks for chopping me in the back, teaching me the chops. So now they don't like my chops.
No.
Let's see. Who else are we going to give shout outs to before we...
Okay, we're going to go back. I got one more thing about Wrestler X. Buddy, man, you need to be humble. With the name that you got, you need to learn how to properly sell the actions. You need to be way more hardcore.
Be what you claim to be.
Action speaks louder than words. And if you're going to go cut a promo video, do it in a different location. Have somebody hold the camera. Do what we're doing. Prop the camera up on something. Okay, buddy? We do this because we care about you and you need to hear this. And I really hope you're watching this. We mean no disrespect. We're just giving our 2 cents on this business. And trust me, this is just a start. Because it's 2020, and I know of 6 different local promotions that are close within hours distance. We might pop up. I might live stream.
Never know.
So stay tuned.
Now, shout outs for this first full-length video. 1, Cluck the Clown, giving you a shout out because you're entertaining, you're awesome, you're great.
Keep up the good work, homie.
Let's see, who else? Michael Strider. Again, thank you for everything you did for me in the beginning.
But also,
oh, hey, check it out. We got SpongeBob going now. All right.
we don't own the rights to that.
No, I just own the 3-year-old that's over here watching it.
What's the other guy that we talked to a lot?
Lawrence Ross.
Lawrence Ross.
Lawrence Ross, also known as Blind Lawrence.
Check him out on YouTube. He's got a Facebook. He's on our friends list on here. He's going to have us on there, and we're going to get his opinion on this. So stay tuned to that one. Again, 2020.